It's time for a spiritual explosion. Raise your standard. This moment. This moment right now. Not now, but right now. Raise your standard. Raise your standards. Raise your standards. Raise your standards. See, when you understand that raising your standard is not you being picky, it's not you being obnoxious, it's not you being arrogant, it's not you being like uppity. When you raise your standard, you're coming from a place of self-love. Don't let people confuse you with raising your standard with cockiness or uppityness or snobbishness. When you raise your standard, you are raising your standard in terms of self-love. You are doing it because you are showing love for yourself. There's so many people right now walking around in this world that aren't raising their standards. They're not raising their standards, and they don't understand why they have low self-esteem or they suffer from anxiety and depression, because they are around people who are not meeting their standards. And when I say meeting standards, I don't necessarily mean on a, financial or societal level, if you know what I mean. I mean, these people aren't growing. You're around people who have been talking about the same thing. How many people in your life have been talking about the same thing over and over again? They're doing the same thing over and over again. These are people that you see that never have a job, never have a place to stay. Those are just like the basic things. A job, a place to stay. Those are the basic things. So understand, raising your standard is not you asking anything of anybody but the basic things. And a lot of times we are around people that don't even have those basic things. And they tell us stories like they don't need certain things, or they feel like they're entitled to be in our life, and they're not raising their standards. See, the reason why Jay-Z is a billionaire is because he's not afraid to raise his standards. He isn't afraid to let go of people that are hindrance to his success. You have to understand, those people that are not raising their standards, they have the same opportunity that you have. They have the same opportunity that we all have. They're just not taking advantage of it. Here's the thing, and this is how you will know if a person is intelligent or not. If you are friends with somebody and they are doing the same thing and they're not changing, and they're always talking, every time you have a conversation with them, they're doing all the talking, and you're not really getting the words out, or every time you say something, or they're giving you advice, or they're giving you pointers on what you need to do with your life, but at the same time, they're not doing anything with their life and you have more than them, remove that person from your friend group. Because it's never supposed to be, it never should be that way. You shouldn't have anybody around you that has less than you, and they're talking all the time, or they're giving you advice on life stuff all the time. When you have people like that in your circle, you have to remove them immediately, because they are toxic, stagnant, arrogant, closed-minded people. They are not of your standard. You have to have standards. Sometimes raising our standards, it's not even that much. As I stated previously, some of these people don't even have the basic things. Get somebody in your circle at least that has the basic things. And then even the people who have the basic things, if they're not willing to grow and do better than that, you remove yourself from them. The universe is abundant. It wants you to have all the great things that it has to offer. But if you're around people who are not willing to seek those things and who just want to be at the same point and live the same old boring life, basically, they don't want to grow, they're not getting in touch with the infinite power that's in the universe, remove yourself from them. That's the first step to raising your standard. The second step to raising your standard is having an open mind in yourself. You have to have an open mind yourself. Having an open mind will save you a lot of stress and a lot of pain through your journey here in this life. If you have an open mind, you know, it's so much power in saying, I don't know. I don't know. There's so much power in asking questions. Ask a lot of questions. Admit you don't know. Say outright that you don't know. Because what you're going to do is you're going to open yourself up to this abundant information, to this abundant knowledge in the universe. Because someone on this path may have way more knowledge than you. And if you walk around like you got it already and you know it all, then you're closing yourself off and you are lowering your standards. You closing yourself off, you lowering your standards for yourself. You should have high standards for yourself. That's having the ability to ask questions. That's having the ability to say you don't know something when you don't know something. It could be the smallest thing. You in the grocery store, you see somebody standing around. You walking down the aisle, you looking for a specific item. Instead of you going up to that person, asking them for help, you're just walking around. When you could just go ask that person for help and they'll point you right in the direction where you need to go, because they probably been working in the store for about 10 years and they know exactly what you need. But instead of doing that, you rather just, I'll just look for it myself. No, have an open mind, ask questions. Even when, you know, what I've learned is that even when you know something and you have an open mind, even when you know something and somebody tell you something that you already know and you've grown, you begin to realize that, hey, this, you know, even though I already knew that, it just feels good that I'm able to have the mind to be receptive to what this person is saying. Keep an open mind. Ask questions. That's how you get more information. And as you get more information, you know, it's been so many situations where I've been in and I was closed-minded, you know, and people didn't want to tell me certain stuff, or they didn't say certain stuff to me, but then I would see, why is this other person more successful than me? Why is this other person advancing more than me? Me and this person, we started at the same time. How's this person ahead of me? Because they have an open mind. Have a childlike mind. Have that, and this leads to my next step. You know, in order to raise your standard, you have to be curious. Curiosity. Be curious like a child. Be curious. If you go in with the attitude of being curious, because you're raising your standards of yourself, first and foremost. Get the toxic people out of the way. Get the closed-minded people who've been doing the same thing. Now you got an open mind, you're asking questions, you're receptive, you admitting you don't know when you don't know something. Now just go in it with an attitude of curiosity. You know, when you see little kids, they mess with stuff because they curious. Go back into that mind state of curiosity. And as you understand, you will be more curious, and the universe will start to give you more information. They give you more knowledge. And now, you've raised your standard. Because when you close yourself off from information and you go in with the attitude that I got everything that I need to know, I know everything that I need to know, you setting your standard low. You setting the bar low. Keep an open mind. It's easier to solve your problem when you have an open mind. Someone said this, I don't know where I heard it, but I feel like it's vital information, and I'm probably paraphrasing it. They say it's not what you don't know that's gonna hurt you. It's what you think you know and that you are for certain and for sure is what's gonna hurt you. Closed-minded. Afraid to ask questions. In order to raise your standards, you do those 3 things, I guarantee you, you're gonna raise your standards and keep that. You're gonna live a more happy life with that attitude. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching the video. Support the channel. With that, everybody stay up, stay strong, stay blessed.